What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gore, and it is another week, and that means more college football picks coming at you. And honestly, I am winging it this week. I can't really do much worse, so we're just gonna kind of do it literally live. Usually, I take an early look at some of these games. I didn't this week. I can't really do any worse. 42 and 38 on the year so far. So, yeah, we're kind of just barely over 500 here. So we're going to just do this live here and see what happens. I can't get any worse, right? So drop a like on this video. Let me know what you're thinking about these games. Drop me a comment, and obviously subscribe to my channel for more weekly content. And with that being said, let us head right into the picks here. Like I say, 42 and 38 overall, week number 9. We're coming down the stretch. We're about to head into November, which is really the big month in college football, right? When all the rivalry games and the big separations start happening, and we start setting up like who's going to be where when it comes time for the conference championship games. So where am I going here this week? ESPN has done this the last few years where they take out some games that maybe should be in the picks each week, and they insert some group of 5 garbage with teams that you haven't really seen very much of. The stinker specials that I tend to like, but they're really hard to pick if you don't regularly watch these teams. It's very much a toss-up. So we've got a few of those to go with this week. Difficult for me to kind of pick where I'm going at the top here. I'm going to go with Oregon State at Arizona. Now, I know this is, again, a tricky spot, taking the team on the road. I've been burned by this a bunch before, and Arizona has played a lot better lately. You see the problems that they gave USC and whatnot. But, man, Oregon State is just a really good football team. I think they have the defense to hang on and kind of make some plays on this improving Arizona team. Like, they're on the rebound here, this program. It's been dead for a long time. But I think Jed Fish and this offense has it going pretty good. So, like I say, I talk them up, and then I'm going to pick against them. That's kind of what I do. But I'll take Oregon State. Really good team, really solid defense. DJU and the receivers and the running game, really rounding into shape in a tough Pac-12. So give me Oregon State on the road as my max pointer. Now, I'm not confident in the next pick, but I am going to throw points on it just because I don't know, just because. Give me Nebraska at home against Purdue. Purdue's been bad. It's not been a good year for them, and Nebraska took the center stage. They were in the spotlight the first few weeks, and it didn't go very well. But they're starting to round the corner a little bit now. And even when they were losing at the beginning of the year, the one thing they can do pretty well is play solid defense. So give me Nebraska against a Purdue team that it really just hasn't worked out this year. 2-5 on the road. I like Nebraska to get to 5-3, and then you look at the remaining schedule, and a bowl game is absolutely within reach. With the way they started the year, it did not look like that was going to be a possibility at all. It looked like it was going to be another long year for Nebraska. But I think getting to a bowl game in year 1 for Matt Rule, that would be a big thing, and give me Nebraska here to clean up Purdue and get one step closer to that. Now, moving forward here, again, it's getting, it's a little difficult with some of these games, and I don't like putting points on a lot of these stuff, on a lot of these games. Give me Fresno State against UNLV. It's a sneaky good game, right? UNLV, again, off the radar. You've probably not seen them very much, but they did, you saw them maybe on the national stage against Michigan early in the year, but they were never going to be competitive in that game anyway. At a even competition level, they're pretty good. They're a pretty good football team, but with that being said, Fresno State to me is a different 6-1 team. They're very good. Like I say, they've had the opportunity to beat a Power 5 team, and they did do that in beating Purdue. So I've been riding high on Fresno State all year, so this time I'm going to pick them and take the points on them, although I will give a call to UNLV. I like seeing this. I like the turnover in sports when you see the bad team kind of turn it around and turn themselves into winners. So it'll be nice to see UNLV in a bowl game this year. It really will. 6-1, they've already gotten there. And let's see where they end up at the end of the year, right? I don't think they'll win this one. But like I say, I'm 42 and 38, so what the fuck do I know, right? But I'll take Fresno State here and move along. Again, rough spot with the rest of these games. I'm going to take Troy on the road at Texas State. Now, I know Texas State's got a very good offense, right? I know they can put up points. And again, speaking of another group of five team that's not been good, that's turned it around. Here's Texas State, 5-2, knocking on the door of a bowl game, right? Playing well, they have a strong offense. They have the ability to put up points. However, this Troy team can really play defense, right? And in general, in a matchup versus offense and defense, I'm going to kind of slightly side with the team that can defend you a little bit better. So give me Troy on the road here to take care of business with that defense. They're a very, very good defense. And maybe they'll do just enough on offense, right? But the key is to getting stops with Texas State, right? As long as they can do that, they'll be competitive in the game. I'll take Troy on the road, and I'll put some points on them because I really don't like some of these other games, right? It's hard to put points on some of these, so I've got to kind of stick my neck out in the Sun Belt Conference and give me Troy. Next one up, I think I'm going to take Wyoming on the road. Again, a team that's like sneaky good. You don't really, they're a different team at home for sure. But Boise State's just been inconsistent. I don't, I think this, if anything, this could be a low scoring defensive type of game because Wyoming's offense is really only just kind of serviceable. They do just enough. Both of these teams play very good defense. Boise State just hasn't found a way to win. It's just been a bit inconsistent. A little bit surprising for me. I think of Boise State, and I always think of a competitive, consistent team. Not this year. So I will venture out on the road again. I pick a lot of road teams, man. It's just, I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm 42-38, but I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with Wyoming on the road to beat Boise State. Like I say, I think they'll be able to ride their defense and just enough from Andrew Peasley and the offense and the running game to get the win. Let's go through here to the next ones. You got some ranked teams on the road in the Power Five, right? I think for Tennessee, this could be a tricky spot against Kentucky, a team that can play physically and run the ball. So I actually think what I'm going to do, I'm very tempted. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to take Kentucky. I'm going to put it as my 1-point game. I just think Kentucky at home. Give me the physical team that can play a little bit of defense, can run the ball pretty well. I'll take the home team in the upset here. Tennessee's offense, when it works, it looks great, but when it doesn't, it looks really bad and really inconsistent. And I don't think, like I say, it's not last year's Tennessee team. They're not as explosive. They're not as clean and crisp as they were last year. So I think this is a potential upset spot after the Alabama game. Give me Kentucky in a slight upset on the road. Now, I've got another ranked game here. This Duke-Louisville game I'm struggling with because Riley Leonard is clearly beat up. He's clearly not 100%, and it's clearly affecting the offense. But man, I really like the Duke team. They play really solid defense. The offense, like I say, with a healthy Riley Leonard, they're a much more dangerous offensive team. But he's just not healthy. He's really banged up. So I'm gonna lean like very slightly. I might switch this, but I'm gonna lean Louisville to bounce back. They had a terrible loss last week. You cannot allow Pittsburgh to put up 38 points on you. Pittsburgh shouldn't score 38 points in a month, let alone a season, the way they play. So that was a terrible, terrible loss by Louisville, kind of coming down to earth a little bit. I think they will get it fixed, get it kind of sorted maybe this week in a tight competitive game at home. Like I say, lean the home team maybe a little bit here, and the beat up Riley Leonard factor. Give me Louisville in a slight toss-up type of game, maybe a slight upset. The next three games, Oregon, Utah, again, another one every week now in the Pac-12. We get these top-tier games. And I'll say it again, it's a shame the Pac-12 is going away because look at what they have to build on this year with all these good teams and good play, and they've just thrown it all away for money. It's just unfortunate. I think this is going to be a really good game. Obviously, Utah, very, very difficult place to play. I think rolling with Bryson Barnes is the correct thing to do. I think he moves the offense a little bit better right now. Again, this is a real toss-up for me. I am gonna go Oregon in like again, very very close. Um, I understand how difficult the environment is there at Utah, but I think Oregon, they have that physical mindset. The physicality is there. And I think Bo Nix makes enough plays, maybe in the fourth quarter, something like that. Utah's offense is not quite there, right? It's not quite there yet. Ultimately, these guys are backup players, right? So Bryson Barnes is a backup quarterback, right? When Cam Rising is healthy. Again, toss up for me. Give me Oregon slightly on the road. And we've got two more games to go here, and then some more, and then two others that we're not picking that I wanted to give a call to. Iowa State Baylor. I honestly have no idea which way to go in this game. These are two wildly inconsistent teams. They play defense when they want to, they play offense when they want to, and that changes week to week. So I have absolutely no idea what to do with this game. I guess I'll go Baylor at home. I don't know. But like, again, inconsistency makes it really, really hard for me to pick these games. And these two teams have been wildly inconsistent. I know Iowa State's breaking in it's a young team, right? And they're breaking in a young quarterback, Anthony Beck's son. But it's just, I don't know, it just really, really inconsistent. And these two inconsistent teams collide, and it could just go either way. I don't know. Give me Baylor, and I don't really even know why. It's just, maybe they show up at home this week. I don't know. We'll see. And then the last one here in the MAC. Again, two good teams, good MAC teams. The MAC in general, like, it's hard for me to say like good teams come out of the MAC because like their bowl history isn't great if you look back at it. So it's like they play well in a vacuum. I'm going to go Ohio at home. I think maybe their defense will be able to kind of stifle Miami, Ohio a little bit. I know it's an in-state thing, but I'll go with the home team here. And not much more to say about that, really. Just wanted to give a call real quick to a couple of other games that are not being picked this week. Oklahoma, Kansas. I think this is another tricky spot for Oklahoma. They had to survive a tricky spot last week, but they were at home, right? UCF almost had them. They almost had them, and Oklahoma pulled it out late. Now they have to go on the road with another very good team, another very good Kansas team that can put up points offensively. It's not been pretty defensively the last couple of weeks. But I think the threat of them on offense with the way Oklahoma played last week, I think there's upset potential here. I don't know that I would pick it. Thank God I'm not. But I do think there's upset potential here just because it's a pressure spot, right? And the way Oklahoma played last week makes me believe that Kansas has a shot here to put up some points and really make things interesting for Oklahoma. They've really got to win out if you think about it, because the way the rankings are, so the Texas is right behind them in the rankings, right? So if they rematch in the Big 12 championship game and Texas wins, well then they'll each have a win against each other, but Texas will be the Big 12 champion, right? So of course they're going to get in. They're going to hop over Oklahoma. So any loss that Oklahoma has right now before the Big 12 championship game really just destroys them. Like, they have to win out. So big spot here. I would look out for a potential upset. Maybe Oklahoma kind of swings it late, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a good game. The other game I wanted to mention, speaking of the other Red River team, Texas, they have to keep it going. They can't afford another loss. They get a BYU team that is like, I'm shocked to say this, but BYU bad defensively. I can't remember a BYU team that's been bad defensively, and their offense is just not moving the ball at all. They're really struggling to move it. The thing is, for Texas, like I say, they can't afford another loss either, but they got injuries, and Quinn Ewers is going to miss time, and so they really need to patch it together now and not avoid the pitfalls the next couple of weeks until Quinn Ewers gets healthy. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but they've got to kind of get through this stretch where they're not going to be playing at 100%, get to that Big 12 championship game, and then it's about avenging the loss. But be careful here. It is BYU still. I know offensively they've been struggling, and defensively it's not pretty, but you never know. This year in football in general has been very week to week. So again, eyes on the prize for the Big 12 teams, Texas and Oklahoma, and that's kind of where I sit on this game. I think Texas will win it, despite all of that. I think that's it for the picks this week. I'm going to go Oregon State at number 10, Nebraska at number 9, Fresno State at 8, Troy, the men of Troy at 7, Wyoming 6, Ohio 5, Baylor 4, Oregon 3, Louisville at 2, and Kentucky in the upset at 1. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. Like I say, give me a like, drop me a comment, subscribe to the channel for more weekly content, and I will see you guys in the next one.